So here we are again, and I wanted to. This is another magazine that Patrick has already kind of done a flip through, and I thought it might be interesting to do a repeat of the flip through from my point of view. Because everybody has different experiences and different memories, especially when it comes to nostalgia. Everyone remembers things differently, and I actually am the one that spotted this magazine in the thrift store because Pee Wee Herman. This was 1988, and Pee Wee was a big deal. I loved Pee Wee. In 1988, I was 10, and really, really loved the Pee Wee Herman show. I can't remember what year that came out, but I feel like this might have been the very beginning of it, because I feel like the show went through the early 90s, I do believe. But this really caught my attention. Everything to do with Pee Wee is vibrant and bright. So this is Life magazine from 1988. Pee Wee, how to throw the coolest party ever. That totally would have interested me. I'm not really sure why that was interesting to a Life magazine situation. So, it's funny. These cars didn't look that much different in the early 80s, to be quite honest with you. Toyota Corolla. And now we have CDs. 6 CDs for a penny. Terrence Trent D'Arby, Tiffany, Aerosmith. See, this is more of like what I remember. I was 10. My older brother, my only sibling, was graduating from high school. So I knew the music really well because of him in a lot of ways. Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine, Susan Vega, U2, INXS, Heart, Debbie Gibson, Out of the Blue. Yep, I remember that. Neil Diamond. We weren't much of a Neil Diamond family. Billy Joel. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So this was a lot more of like what I remember. And we never got Life magazine. This was, just not our thing. We really didn't get magazines when I was a kid. We got National Geographic and like Reader's Digest, and that's about it. I begged and begged and begged to get highlights, and I never got it. My mom always said that she sent the little thing off, the little like card that you get in the magazine. She's like, I sent it off, and they never sent it. I don't think she ever sent it off. So, beautiful photography. This is Martha's Vineyard. This is a large format magazine too, which is just really neat. So, ads are that much more vibrant, covers are that much more vibrant. And there's some good 80s examples there of fashion. Ooh, the Franklin Mint. Classy. I mean, that's just a cool ad because it's this giant hamburger. Reef Madness. So like a play off the idea of reefer madness. We just can't bring ourselves to do this to our big, beautiful McDLT put together. That is, imagine taking our cool, crisp iceberg lettuce, firm, ripe red tomatoes, crisp, crunchy pickles and onions, cheese, creamy mayo, and mustard and ketchup, and putting them on top of a piping hot 100% U.S. beef. The cold stuff would get warm, and the hot stuff would get cold. Nope, no way. Do you remember they used to have the containers where all one half would be over here, one half would be over here, and then once you were ready to eat it, then you put it together. Yeah, apparently they don't care anymore because you just get like a squished hamburger and you have to deal with it. More cigarettes. Oh, for a probe. I didn't know they made probes in the 80s. I remember like that was like a cool car in the early 90s. That was a pretty slick looking car for a 1988. Merv Griffin and his doggy. More cigarettes. Nuclear power plants. What happens to nuclear power plants when they're abandoned? I remember we were not like really close, but we were within maybe 50 miles of a nuclear power plant growing up. So it was kind of one of those things that was talked about on a semi-regular basis. Let's see. There's more Ronald Reagan. Jelly beans. That's what I think of. Hyundai. I don't remember Hyundai when I was younger. Like, I just don't remember the car. I used, like, when Hyundai became big in the United States again and we got a plant actually not far from where we live, I felt like it was like a new car brand, but it's obviously not, and I just don't remember. I remember Honda, but I don't remember Hyundai. Bermuda is you, isn't it? Special report. Bismarck. So apparently this rich lady was stealing stuff. And oh gosh, okay, y'all. Do you see in this the Hills department store logo on those? Do you guys remember? Does anybody remember the store named Hills? Like, we had one. And like, all I remember is I was really little, and the commercials on TV had this little like Christmas gnome, and it was a real person, and she would like advertise all of the toys, and all of the toy commercials were like, Hills is where the toys are, da, 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 da. And I remember all of those commercials. And for us, like, we didn't have Toys R Us or anything like that, so a place like Hills was like the toy store. And I mean, you know, it was just huge. And then there was like a whole toy section, but I remember in the front of the store, instead of having like normal store aisles, they had like tables, like kind of like a super discount store would have, just tables of stuff. And I can remember shopping for underoos. Random memory, but I remember this very vividly. I remember shopping for underoos, and I always wanted the Wonder Woman ones, but they didn't have the Wonder Woman ones, so I had to get I had to get C-3PO, which was fine, but I really wanted Wonder Woman so I could spin around in circles. Yeah, if anybody else remembers Hills, let me know. I don't know if it was a regional store, but I find it weird if it was regional that it would end up as on these price tags in this Life magazine story. So apparently the thing is alcohol, cigarettes, and cars. It's like what big advertisements were in the 80s. Windsor Canadian. Cuba, 4 centuries of harvesting sugar. Beautiful photography. I always like a good photo essay. That's what Life was probably known the best for. Sort of like that photo essay was their specialty. AT&T. Reach out and touch someone. I thought this was interesting. Stalking the wild things. Ravenous for woodsy morsels, 3 of Maurice Sendak's wild things sit down to feast. Among the goodies, dandelion greens, sea beans, nettles, pineapple weed, sheep sorrel, and puffballs. Nowadays, human foragers are finding such piquant plants and fungi tasty too. This year marks the 25th birthday of the gang of lovable crazies created by Sendak for his story Where the Wild Things Are. An anniversary edition of the children's classic is due out in September, and the one-act opera based on the book is performed by European and U.S. companies. Happy 25th, Wild Things, and Bon Appetit. What a weird combo. Like, this is such a strange combo. And, I mean, you know, everybody knows Where the Wild Things Are. They made a whole movie. And I just feel like this was one of those spreads that somebody just was like, you know, it's the 25th anniversary of Maurice Sendak's book, and I'm gonna do something fun with it, and decided to make this spread. And it's I mean, it's just neat. It's really neat. And I also find it very interesting that there was a one-act opera based on the book. I'm gonna have to look into that. Not much into operas, but that's intriguing. It's very beautiful. And there's some more. Applying some Native American knowledge, today's cooks are heading for hills, forests, and beaches to gather ingredients. The prime pickings, greens, nuts, berries, fungi, even flowers. Foraging is like being in a fairy tale, says Barton Levinson, a San Francisco chef. You get to find all these wonderful things in the wild. The wilderness bounty, like cattail on the cob and crunchy mustard flour buns, is appearing on the most ambitious menus. All wild food has more potent flavor, says Minneapolis chef Scott Greenlee. Cultivation takes out a lot, but adventurous gatherers and grazers must exercise caution. Some species are poisonous. Best to take along a guide or ask a wild thing's advice. So they're kind of mixing Maurice Sendak and the Wild Things in with, like, apparently a culinary popular trend at the time. Interesting. Professional grade film. Also a thing of the past. And more cigarettes. Gettysburg. This statue of a fallen Confederate soldier lies in the field where 125 years ago the bloody battle of the Civil War was waged. More beautiful photography. We have some Tracy Chapman. So I remember, and I'm guessing this is when Fast Car came out. I'm not totally sure. Let's see. But I remember that song first came out. I hated it. Like, I hated it. You know, I was like into radio music and I listened to stuff all the time. Now I love that song. And it's weird how your taste changed, but I feel like every time I hear it now, I just, it's kind of a timeless song. It's a beautiful song. She has an amazing voice. I wonder whatever happened to her. Color copiers. It's kind of a big ticket item for an individual to be advertising. I guess maybe that's for businesses, like, you know, this goes to businesses to be in the waiting room targeting those folks. The anatomy of autism. I feel like this might have been some of the first times that people really talked about autism, because I don't ever remember really hearing about autism when I was younger. Of course, once again, I was 10. But, you know, I feel like this was when the 80s, it was probably the beginning of them understanding and diagnosing autism. Talking about a tribe of Native Americans that kind of struggling academically. More cigarettes. Combination of traditional and new computer age from the early, or well, late 80s at this point. Okay, I find this funny. There's an ad for the dictionary. No other dictionary resolves more burning issues: how to spell it, how to say it, how to use it. And it's the dictionary to tell you how old a word is. Now we have the internet. Siegfried and Roy. Just an advertisement for going to Las Vegas. It's, welcome to Twinsburg, an Ohio town named by Moses and Aaron Wilcox, twin brothers who married who married sisters, died on the same day. Buried in the same grave. The whole thing's just devoted to twins. Haagen-Dazs. Sorbet. The Zappa Zoo. The only thing I remember about the Zappa family was they all had weird names. Oh, who remembers the diamond tennis bracelet being like the thing? Like the, you know, epitome of fine jewelry. Simply elegant. The diamond is forever, so they have had that tagline for a very long time. I remember my mom had like a fake one. Ooh, cuff watches. Pyramid Power. Another serious article. Life was a little bit more serious than like people or something, so this made sense. Is that something that softens the water? I guess. Water softener. Coney Island, another photo essay style. Beautiful photography. From over the years, 1947, 1949, 1951. $1977. Okay, I can't believe we're almost done with this, and there's been no Pee Wee Herman, who is on the cover of this thing. Little United States Mint Olympic medal thing. Here we go. Okay, it took that long to get to Pee Wee Herman. Big Top birthday. Earth's most childish star of stage, screen, and Saturday morning TV is celebrating his birthday. And although you don't ask the Peter Pan of the mall generation, as he's been called, to tell his age, his alter ego, mild-mannered Paul Rubens, turns 36 on August 27th. So this is just kind of like a wackadoo little article about his birthday. I remember that like drawn look was in a lot of the stuff that Pee Wee Herman show had, and of course all the wacky patterns and colors. I mean, this just would have been a dream when I was a kid. I was a little dork that had a huge imagination, and everything about the Pee Wee Herman show just was, you know, fantastic to me. It was funny and off the wall and just, you know, weird, completely weird, and I loved it. I totally loved it. The little hot dog cars. And this really is about like tips for having a funky birthday party. And once again, I really just feel like it's a sort of an excuse to have some very imaginative photography, because look how vibrant and big those pictures are. Life was really liked to do that sort of thing. Puppies. So that was pretty much it. Oh, yogurt cups. I never liked the yogurt cups very much. The canned, especially the ones that weren't refrigerated. They're gross now too. I don't know what that's all about. Anyway. Oh, film again. The film drops in. And beautiful pictures drop out. Fuji cameras. So there's a little trip down memory lane of 1988. I hope you guys enjoyed that point of view video. And if you like this style video, just comment and I'll try to do some more like that. I hope you guys have a great night.